Well, good morning. My name's Andy Heald and I am of the Heald family. We are currently travelling around Europe in our motorhome that you can see behind me because we want to explore a different way. We're trying to find, I don't know, how to live in our world today, but where faith and family are important and where we can actually live and enjoy the fullness of life. So that's our exploration, that's our route, our pilgrimage, I guess. Today you find us in camping Charente, I think it's spelled. I'll write it on the screen, you can see it. So it's in a beautiful part of France in the Charente-Maritime area near to Ruffec, and a beautiful village called Vertoy, which has one of the most wonderful chateaus I've ever seen. I think it's just so pretty. But we find us here because, well, partly I've got family. We've got family in the area, so we came to say hello to them and enjoy time with them. But it's also en route to our next destination to see more friends and family around the the east of France. But we also kind of found ourselves to be on the way of St James here as well, or the Chemin de Saint-Jacques de Compostela, as it is called here in France. Now, our time here, as with any journey which has twists and turns and wiggles from side to side, and goes up and down as well. And whilst the great ups have been seeing my cousin here, or it has been playing in the beautiful river, we've had our share of adventures. But before that, if you are here just for a little bit of information about the campsite, it's lovely. I mean, it's really shady, as you can see, and yet it's warm. I mean, it's July here at the moment, so we've seen anything up to 38 degrees here, but also it's been down to 18. So a massive temperature range. We've had both. We are 5 minutes walk out the campsite doors to the beautiful Charente river, and you can go and play in it. Swim, dip, kayak, you know, splash around. Fantastic. Buy an ice cream locally. It's wonderful. Also, there's cycling routes. We've got our bikes out here. The campsite has its own swimming pool. It has shady pitches, large pitches, really easy to get on and off. Service is easy to access. There's a nice reception area. Bread you can order daily, and the bread is very good, I might add. They have a snack bar. They have like special meal frites night, and there's lots of entertainment and things going on here, with water on our pitch, which is always a good thing. So there's lots of good things to be here at the campsite. In terms of its COVID regulations, you kind of not know that COVID was around at the moment. Sort of a good thing. There's plenty of space between pitches. You can socially distance in the bar and restaurant area. There's hand gel in the toilet area, and the toilets are cleaned and disinfected, and they look clean. They're, you know, not new, but they're clean. And evidently I think the clientele keep it clean here too, which is obviously a big deal. So this is good. But as we continue our journey, we've had some kind of great and not so great adventures here. So our adventures here have included, if you like, scratches, scrapes, and maybe some scars. So as we came out before we got here, we'd been ill for a little while. And actually, I think it turns out we'd still been ill, because I found myself in the last few days coming out with the most horrific rash all over my body. First, I thought it might be prickly heat, but then it turned out I don't know what it was. Maybe because I swam in the river. I mean, the river looked crystal clear, so I don't know if it was a reaction to that or a reaction to something I ate. I don't normally have an allergic reaction or toxic reaction to things, but either way, I came out with this thing and it's kept me awake at night. It's put me back to bed. It's not been good. And then we've had some scrapes. And yeah, unfortunately, as I was coming around a wall into visit some friends here, I took a call. I just didn't take the call well. And little Faith now has a little bit of a war wound down her side, as you can see, here. So, and it made me think actually about how easy it is to get into scratches and scrapes, and then how we deal with them. You know, what do they become? Do they become like scars? You know, I've got scars on myself from motorcycle accidents. I've got scars on myself from getting bitten by mosquitoes. And they are living reminders of those events. But sometimes those scars, of course, can go a bit deeper. And, you know, I've lived through some scarring incidents in my lives, but they were attached to pain. And I didn't want to be attached to that pain anymore, actually. And I don't want to live with the pain of those scars. There's a songwriter I know who wrote some great lyrics. He says, "The scars are the sign of pain in our lives, and Father, how you brought us through." And I think, I mean, you know, he believes in a heavenly Father who looks after us, as I do. And I think that that's something that to grasp hold of, is that we can be brought through these painful incidents. But how does that happen? Now, as you can imagine, me driving our beautiful home into a wall and getting it stuck on that wall, it was not a great not a great moment in my life, working out how we'd get it off and not wreck the awning or wreck the the wheel arch, not the mudguard, as we tried to get it off this wall I got it stuck on. And thankfully, with help, we managed to manoeuvre it off, and it's literally just left a scar and a bit of a scrape. And what do we do with that? It's probably a few £100 to get fixed. I have no idea yet. But maybe we'll leave it forever as a reminder to drive more carefully. I don't know. But but through that time, through those moments, you can imagine I was kicking myself. I was more than kicking myself. And Rachel, man, she was upset, but it didn't last. Now, I can honestly say that perhaps at the beginning of this journey, if either of us had done something like that to the vehicle, the other would have probably held it against us for a while. But she has given me so much grace. She has given me so much love. And it made me think of a bit of ancient wisdom that I've heard, which says that love keeps no record of wrongs. And I thought that's really interesting, because how do we live in a world where the wrongs are evident? If the scars are there, the evidence is there of the event, but does the wrong have to remain attached to it and the pain that comes with it? So, we're 2 days since the incident at this point. She hasn't mentioned it. She hasn't mentioned it. And I found it easier myself to let it go, actually. And if we are to love others as we love ourselves, then we've got to know how to love ourselves well. If I'm kicking myself, dwelling on this place where I've scratched and scraped what is ultimately a material object that could be fixed with a few quid, or a few £100 even, which isn't insignificant to us, then how does that figure? Because I have a peace. I have learned to be content with this. And a few months ago, before coming out and traveling around on this journey, I don't think that would have been the case. So I'm grateful to our way, the different way for teaching is this, and I hope we can hold on to it. And if bigger trials and tribulations come our way, then we can hold on to that peace and contentment too. Enjoy the way. Hope you'll join us on for some more stories the different way. Please think about subscribing. We'd love that, or following our blog as well, or our Insta page. Take care.